Welcome to Billy Ho Sports. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like and comment on the videos. I hope you enjoy the show. Now, let's go. Hello, Billy Ho here again. Part two of the Split the Slates video. And this one is only going to have 4 afternoon Sunday games, but 3 of them are monster huge popular games. So we do got a really good. I love these lower slated games with less games. And of course, there's no late swap. All the games run at the same time. So, we obviously do the highest point spreads. Look at those first. We only have 4 games to choose from. I'm sure if you've already been looking, you're quite familiar with Kansas City and Arizona, and then Las Vegas and the Chargers, and Green Bay at Minnesota. And then the redheaded stepchild game is that Giants at Tennessee. So let's take a look and see what we got. All righty then. So first thing I'm going to do is look at this KC Arizona game. Whopping 53 total. I love the quarterbacks, and I guess people are Vegas figure these 2 guys are going to somehow figure it out with their pass catchers that they got. If you play Mahomes as your quarterback stack, you got cheap receivers to go with. You got Kelsey. You could play in the flex. Like I said, flex is a good spot for a tight end when you're splitting the slates. Not so much on the main slate, but you could do a cheap tight end like Hooper from the Tennessee game, and then you can put Kelsey in the flex, and then you got Juju or you got Hardman or somebody like that, with Mahomes. Then you run it back with a Hollywood Brown or a guy I'm warming up to, AJ Green, depending on what happens with Rondale Moore and Zach Ertz, because they're both questionable. And I'll be shooting across information like that across the ticker on who's questionable and whatnots. So that's an interesting game. James Conner, he looks like a fine running back to play as well. If you want to start off with a Mahomes stack, we could take a quick look at that. And then we're going to go take a look here and get Juju. And we're going to put, let's do this. Go ahead and put Hooper in at tight end. And then we're going to go Kelsey in the flex. And now we have defenses. And I kind of like going down here to this Minnesota defense. They're playing at home. That's just a jump off D. But I think they have the best chance because I think I also heard a rumor of one of the Green Bay receivers might not be fully up to speed. I can't remember if it's Lazard. But they got, nothing but rookies after that with Dobbs, and then they got I love him to death, but Randall Cobb is getting up there, so he's not really contributing, and Tanyan hit and miss. So he might be dropping back looking for running backs, which might not help the Vikes D, but you never know. Home games, sometimes Minnesota comes through. Now, this stack gives me, I got the double stack with Kelsey, and then I could come back with Hollywood and plug that in there. And you still got 6,100 per player. So you can flip the script and you can go the other way with it. And you can go Murray, or you can use James Conner as the run back in that game. Or the other game is obviously, I think the optimal play for a quarterback stack is going to be Herbert. Probably popular. and it's very expensive because if you can go Eckler because he is an extreme pass catching running back, but he's 8,200, and then you got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are your other two options, which are 66 and 7,000 apiece. So double stacking that is going to be expensive. You really would have to go drop, especially if you went Allen and Williams. Your third wide receiver is going to be like Wandale Robinson at 3K is how it's going to amount to. So if you went Allen and Williams together, see you only got 4,800. And then but if you do Wandale, you get back up to 51. So, you're working on it. And your defense is going to be that Vikings. Now you're up to 5,900 and you go cheap tight end with Hooper. And now we're right back up to 66.33 per player for your two running backs and your flex. So you can go cheap in the flex and then still get two really good running backs. I mean, you still got, you got Derrick Henry and a one-off. Well, see, you could go Derrick Henry and that would give you a double stack. That's not bad. I kind of like that because then you got a mini double stack. So let's do that right away. Now, these are kind of game stacks that I like. What I was talking about with the running back and a pass catcher without the quarterback, because they both can get there. Obviously, Derrick Henry can rush for 150 yards and 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns. And then Hooper catches 6 for 60 and a touchdown. And then Tannehill's got 225 yards and a 1 or 2 touchdowns, and he don't get there. But Henry and Hooper together get there, and then you got your run back with Wandale. So then we got all this, and then we still got 5,650 in the flex for your run back in the Las Vegas game, and you can do Waller, you can do Renfro. Devontae would be expensive, but you can go that route. So sometimes you have to look at those pivot games, and I'm not recommending. Just to sum this up, I'm not recommending stacking. I already tweeted about it. I think Danny Dimes. I don't know why it seems to be popular. It probably will be less so if we get negative news about Kadarius Toney's health. And I don't know that Sterling Shepard's going to be ready. And Kenny Galladay, Holiday, Kenny Galladay's up in the air. We don't know what the hell his problem is. But the other thing that I wanted to mention in that game as a run back, if you don't use Hooper at tight end, you can use the opposite way. And like if you have Derrick Henry and you just want a mini game stack, you can run it back with the Giants tight end. And that's I forget, Baldinger. Well, let's just jump back in here and we'll settle this shit right now. He's going to be way down here. Ding, ding, ding. His name is Bellinger. He's questionable. Making progress. He's in concussion protocol. So that's 8:31. That's a week ago. So he's probably going to be cleared to play. He is their number one tight end, and he's only 2,500. So he's even better. Well, I'm not going to say better than Wandale because Wandale's probably got major league upside for just 500 more. But he's another option. If you don't, if you can't get to Wandale for some reason, you can punt him at 2,500, and all he needs is a handful of catches. And if you're missing Tony and Shepard or whatever, then that's where you're going to land. So that's going to do it. Split the slates. I hope it was all it was cracked up to be. But it's the point of it is to lower the amount of games you got to worry about. So instead of 13 games, like I did in part 1, there's only 9. 9 is a nice wheelhouse for a slate. And there will be more games for that. But then also you get a fresh start at 4 p.m. So if you have bad round 1 or 1 o'clock games, or your dudes in your 1 o'clock games on your main slate plays don't come through for you, you always got a second chance in this last slate of 4 games. And I've bailed myself out on more than one occasion last year with a couple $100 in a contest, because the contests are smaller field contests and they might not be for $50,000, but they might be for $500. And then if you beat 230 people and win $500, I feel pretty good about that. So until the next video, please remember, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later on in the week, probably Thursday or Friday, with a a final push to the week 1 and injury updates and who's in, who's out, whatnot. So until that next video, we'll see you soon.